Welcome everybody. My name is Christian. Welcome to my channel, Empowering Self-Love and Authenticity with the Power of the Mind. How are you today? How are you today? Welcome. My name is Renee Christian. Once again, welcome to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. I am your authenticity and mindset coach, and we're here to talk today. Today, we're going to talk about states of being. Let's get out the whiteboard. So let's scroll over to the beginning. Of the conversation. I hope you all are doing well today. So as you can see, we have a lot to cover in this video. So let's get into it. What is a state of being? A state of being is a combination of your thoughts, feelings, and emotion in any given moment. So it's all of those things, a combination of those things in a given moment of time. It's the way you perceive yourself, the way you perceive another person, and the way you interpret a situation. Your state of being is directly connected to your self-concept in a number of factors. So it is directly connected to your self-concept. So let's get into that. Self-concept. Let's talk about it. Is the way you see yourself, how you identify yourself in relation to the world, how you believe the world and people around you perceive you. A major part of your self-concept is your self-talking and inner dialogue. It is a part of your self-concept. The way you talk to yourself impacts the way others will treat you in the world. Everyone in the world is a direct mirror of you. They're mirroring your internal beliefs, feelings, and assumptions back to you. So let's talk about this, because this is a specific part of self-concept that I don't think people talk about a lot. And how much your self-talk and inner dialogue affect your self-concept. The way you're talking to yourself, the way you're communicating with yourself is going to affect everything you do. If you're saying to yourself, I'm not good enough, I'm never going to be good enough, I'm always failing, I'm always a failure, you're going to create feelings and behaviors that reflect that back to you. People in your life are going to reflect that back to you because they're going to mirror your back to you. So we have to really understand the huge impact that our inner dialogue has on our self-concept. Okay, so another part of this is belief systems, because our inner dialogue comes from our belief systems. Now there are two different types of belief systems, right? There is the belief system that is your prevalent beliefs, prevalent assumptions. It's the beliefs and assumptions you prevalently hold about yourself and the world. For example, I always fail in everything I do. That's a prevalent belief. Another one is nothing ever goes right for me. Nobody ever shows up for me. That's the way you see the world. That's the way you believe the world works for you. A subtle belief is a belief that only shows up in certain circumstances or situations. It's not something that you think about or know unless something happens to bring it up. So that might be relationships always go bad for me. Nobody commits to me. That's a subtle belief because it only shows up when you're in relationships. Now, you can have a different self-concept for each area of your life, but here we're going to talk about states and how to transform states. So, in order to transform states, first of all, you have to understand and identify the dominant beliefs. Identifying the dominant beliefs. And this is where I want you to understand identifying the dominant and the subtle beliefs that you have. And this is what I want you to understand about your beliefs. They are created by your parents, teachers, caregivers between the age of 0 to 7 or from experiences. So these are not things that you had control over. They were given to you during these vital ages in your life. They were other people's assumptions, beliefs, and ways they identified with the world that were passed on to you. And I have this little diagram here. So when we take those things that people give to us, it created our belief systems, our dominant and our subtle, and then that created our self-concept, how we saw ourselves, how we expected the world to work for us. Then that in turn created our self-talking, and our self-talking impacts our thoughts and emotions in that day. And then our thoughts and emotions impact that state of being. Okay? So I really want you guys to understand that. And that is the cycle that we create, right? And we want to change this cycle, right? We want to change the cycle. So how do we change the cycle? Well, it's a process, but we all can do it. You have to identify the dominant and subtle belief systems that no longer serve you. So we have to go through and say, what beliefs do I have? Maybe you have a belief of not being good enough, not being wanted, not being chosen, whatever the case may be. Identify all those beliefs. You have to become the observer and realize that you are not your thoughts, your feelings, or your experiences. So this allows you to look at those belief systems and realize that you are not them. You are not your thoughts, your feelings, or your experiences. You are the observer of them. You are the watcher of them. And if you want more about being the observer, you can go watch my video on how to be the observer. It's in my video list. Then we identify what we're going to do next is we're going to identify the habits and behaviors that reflect the old state. So what habits and behaviors identify the old state of being? We're going to identify the habits and behaviors. And for this, I'm going to use an example because we're going to go to my side note over here in orange. Understanding the game you're playing. Understand the punishment and reward system you're using for yourself. How are you trying to protect yourself? So I'm going to use an example here. I did not put it on the board. I apologize. The example is you are an emotional eater. So when you get triggered in a negative emotion, your automatic response is to go get something to eat, a snack, something sweet, something that tastes good. And what does that do? Okay, what does that behavior do for you? It gives you a dopamine hit and it makes you feel better. It takes away the negative feeling or emotion, right? But maybe that habit doesn't serve you and it's not allowing you to be the healthiest version of yourself. How can we get the same reward without the punishment? This is what we have to understand. We can do that by changing the habit to something that better serves us. So for an example, maybe we start to go for a walk or a run when we feel that way. So when we're walking or we're running, we're getting that dopamine hit, but we're not causing the physical damage to our health by that comes with the overeating. We're actually making ourselves healthier. Now, as I say that, guys, I want you to remember that there's a balance for everything. You can't take things to the extreme. You have to have balance. So we identify the new belief system that that person would have that have those new habits and behaviors. So what does a person that does these things already believe about themselves? How do they carry themselves? How do they act? We identify that new belief system, right? What are the habits, behaviors that this belief system creates? What habits would they have? What would a person that doesn't emotionally eat, how would they, what beliefs would they have? What habits would they have? And then understanding the thoughts, feelings, and experiences that go with that belief system. And then that will create the new state of being. And then you have a new, better cycle that serves you. You have a better cycle that serves you. This is so important, guys. And I want you to understand that the thing is like, this is not like an overnight quick fix thing. Like, you're going to get triggered into the old pattern. And every time you get triggered, it takes 21 days or more, 21 to 90 days to change a habit or behavior. So you're going to get re-triggered in the old habits, in the old behaviors, in the old assumptions for a minute. And every time you do, you have to follow this new process. You have to persist in the new process to create the new state. You have to be dedicated to the new process. And what it is like becoming that observer in the moment. Don't wait till later. Don't wait till after you feel better. Don't wait till you did the old habit and behavior. Staying. Do it in the moment. Get uncomfortable with yourself. Be truly honest with yourself. Be truly open with yourself so that you can create long lasting change, because that's the only way you're going to be able to do it. You have to be honest and real with yourself. You have to be open and you have to be willing to be uncomfortable when the old stuff arises. And it's a continuing practice of developing the skill and the tool of being the observer, understanding what you're observing, and choosing the new state or identity of being. So I hope this video helped you today. I hope you really enjoyed it. And if you want more one-on-one support, if you want more one-on-one guidance, if you are looking to start your journey and transform your life, the links will be in the description of this video. You can work with me. If you want to do it independently, I have guides and tools that you can purchase from my digital downloadable shop. Please share this video with somebody that you think will appreciate it. And please comment what other types of videos you would like to see on my channel. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button for me and show some support. Thank you for everything you do, and I love you. Have a wonderful day.